Somewhere in the Mediterranean, a ship longer than 2 football fields is quietly cutting through the water. It has no name painted where you'd expect one, no flags to identify its owner. Its windows are tinted so dark that from a passing boat, you can't tell if anyone is even on board. It cost more to build than some airlines are worth. And here's the strange part. Even if you had the money, right now, today, you could not buy it. Not because it's not for sale, because it was never built to be sold.
This is the hidden world of the superyacht elite, not the 40-meter charter boats you see in travel ads. The other tier, the one with fewer than 50 vessels on the entire planet, the one where the waiting list is measured in years. The owners are heads of state and billionaires, and the price tag for a single yacht can exceed $600 million before it ever touches the sea. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going inside that world, using only what has been confirmed, documented, and verified. No rumors treated as fact, no exaggeration, just the real engineering, the real money, and the real reasons these vessels exist outside the normal rules of ownership.
At 180 meters long, a Zom is the longest private motor yacht ever built. That's longer than the Titanic's midsection, stacked against modern engineering standards. A vessel so large that very few ports on Earth can actually accommodate her. She was commissioned by Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former president of the United Arab Emirates, and built by the German shipyard Lürssen, a company that has been constructing vessels since 1875. The design work alone took a full year. Construction took roughly 3 more, an extraordinary pace for a ship of this scale, involving thousands of workers and millions of combined labor hours. The final cost is estimated at around $605 million. To put that into perspective, that's more than the annual operating budget of some small national governments spent on a single private vessel.
But a Zom isn't just big. She's fast, dangerously fast for her size. Most ships this large are built for comfort, not speed. A Zom was engineered differently, with a shallow draft of just 4.3 meters, allowing her to reach speeds over 32 knots. Powered by a combination of gas turbines and diesel engines, producing tens of thousands of horsepower. At the time of her sea trials, she was the fastest vessel of her size class in the world. Inside, her main salon stretches 29 meters long, with no supporting pillars. An open, uninterrupted space larger than most New York apartments, wrapped in custom 7-centimeter thick windows. The interior, designed by French decorator Christophe Léonie, was styled after early 19th century empire aesthetics, with wood veneers, custom furnishings, and, according to Lürssen itself, mother-of-pearl detailing that reportedly took over a year of skilled production to complete. She carries a crew of between 60 and 80 people, for a maximum of 36 guests, which raises an obvious question. Why does a boat need 80 crew members for 36 guests? The answer takes us into the second layer of this world, what it actually costs to keep something like this running. Buying a superyacht is, in some ways, the easy part. Industry estimates place a Zom's annual running costs somewhere between $50 and $75 million a year. That figure includes fuel, and a Zom's tank holds roughly 1 million liters of it, along with crew salaries, insurance, dockage, provisioning, and constant maintenance to keep a vessel of this complexity seaworthy. She's not alone in this. Consider Eclipse, the 162.5-meter superyacht owned by Russian businessman Roman Abramovich, built by the German shipyard Blohm & Voss and delivered in 2010. Reports place her annual upkeep in a similar range, tens of millions of dollars a year, just to remain operational, whether she's cruising the Mediterranean or sitting anchored in port.
And that's the paradox at the heart of ultra-luxury yachting. The purchase price is only the beginning. These vessels are run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether their owners are aboard or not. Generators run constantly to protect climate-sensitive interiors, fine art, rare wood, custom upholstery, from humidity and sea air. Crews remain on standby year-round. Systems are tested, hulls are inspected,
engines are serviced on strict schedules, because a mechanical failure on a vessel this size, this far from shore, is not a minor inconvenience. It's easy to see a superyacht and imagine leisure. What's harder to see is that underneath the leisure is something closer to running a small floating corporation with a payroll, a maintenance division, a security division, and a logistics team every single day of the year.
Which brings us to security. And this is where these yachts start to look less like pleasure craft and more like fortified compounds. Eclipse is widely reported to include 2 helicopter landing pads, a hangar capable of storing a 3rd aircraft, multiple swimming pools, a disco hall, a cinema, and a mini submarine stored within her hull, reportedly capable of diving roughly 50 meters. She's also been reported, through multiple yachting and news outlets, to include reinforced glass in certain areas and an anti-paparazzi system designed to detect camera flashes from a distance and disable the shot before it can be taken. Some of Eclipse's more extreme reported features, like a missile defense system, remain difficult to independently verify and are treated by several yachting publications themselves as unconfirmed. What is confirmed is this: her scale, her cost, and her security posture put her in a category almost no private citizen occupies. She currently carries a crew of around 70 for up to 36 guests, spread across 9 decks.
This level of privacy isn't paranoia for its own sake. For an owner whose net worth is measured in the billions, exposure, a photograph, a location leak, an unsecured deck carries real financial and personal risk. The security architecture of these yachts is designed around a simple premise: total control over who sees what and when. And that control extends even to where these ships can go. Since 2022, following international sanctions, Eclipse has been largely confined to Turkish waters, a striking reminder that even a vessel this powerful is still subject to the same politics and legal systems as everyone else. Not every owner in this world chases size and speed. Some chase something else entirely. In 2023, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos took delivery of Kourou, a 127-meter 3-masted sailing yacht built by the Dutch shipyard Oceanco. At 417 feet, she's among the largest sailing yachts ever constructed, with masts standing roughly 70 meters tall, nearly the height of a 20-story building. Her construction reportedly cost around $500 million, with annual maintenance estimated at $25 to $30 million. She carries around 18 guests and a crew of roughly 36, and includes a cinema reportedly seating 25 people. Because a sailing yacht's masts make helicopter landings essentially impossible, Bezos commissioned a second vessel, a 75-meter support ship named Abeona, built by Damon Yachting, purpose-built to carry a helicopter, tenders, water toys, and additional crew. It's a telling detail. When the primary yacht can't do everything, the solution at this level isn't compromise. It's simply building a second ship. That single decision alone likely added tens of millions of dollars to the overall project. And when Kourou was under construction, her masts were tall enough that Rotterdam briefly considered partially dismantling a century-old historic bridge just to let her pass, a plan that generated public controversy before engineers ultimately found a way around it. This is what separates this tier of yacht from anything resembling a normal purchase. You're not buying a boat off a lot. You're commissioning an engineering project that can reshape city infrastructure decisions before it even leaves the shipyard. So let's return to the question from the beginning. Why can't these yachts simply be bought? Part of the answer is structural. Vessels like Azam, Eclipse, and Kourou were never built as products for a market. They were custom commissions, designed from a blank sheet of paper around one owner's specifications, then built over 3, 4, sometimes 5 years by shipyards like Lursen, Blom plus Voss, and Oceanco. There is no showroom. There is no listing. The yacht exists because a specific person paid a shipyard to build exactly that yacht for exactly them. Some are tied to state power rather than personal wealth. Azam was commissioned under the direction of the President of the United Arab Emirates, a vessel bound up with national prestige as much as personal luxury.
Others simply aren't on the market at any price. Eclipse is not available for charter or sale. Its owner has kept it as a private, standing asset for over a decade, regardless of shifting political winds. And even when a yacht at this level is technically available, the barrier isn't just money, it's time. The top shipyards capable of building at this scale have order books stretching years into the future. You're not just paying for steel and engineering, you're paying for a queue that very few people are even permitted to join. So where does this world go from here? The record for world's largest has already shifted once. In 2019, the research and expedition vessel Rev Ocean was unveiled at just over 183 meters, edging past Azam by roughly 3 meters, 6 years after she claimed the title. It's a reminder that in this world, no record stands forever, and scale itself has become part of the competition.
But there are signs the definition of ultra-luxury is also shifting. Bezos didn't chase Azam's size or Eclipse's speed. He commissioned a sailing yacht, a nod toward older maritime tradition, paired with a dedicated support vessel for modern conveniences. It suggests a future where the flex isn't only about who builds the biggest ship, but who builds the most thoughtfully engineered one. What's unlikely to change is the underlying economics. These vessels will keep requiring tens of millions of dollars a year simply to exist. They'll keep demanding crews in the dozens, security systems built for genuine threats, and shipyards willing to spend years perfecting a single hull for a single client. At the surface, a super yacht looks like the ultimate symbol of freedom. Total privacy, total control, the entire ocean as your driveway. But look closer, and what you find is something more disciplined than indulgent. Every meter of length, every knot of speed, every reinforced window was the product of years of engineering, negotiation, and extraordinary sums of money. Built not for a market, but for one person's exact vision of what the sea should offer them. Azam still holds records most vessels will never approach. Eclipse still guards its owner's privacy from behind lasers and armored glass. And Kourou still cuts through the water under sail, a quiet rebellion against everything a super yacht is supposed to be. They are, each of them, one of one, which is exactly why no amount of money can simply buy your way into owning one. You have to be invited into the world that builds them first.